everyone, and welcome. Illiana Stock Car Radio episode number 62, part one of our two-part season finale here of the show. Man,
I don't like those words.
I know we've been going since March, and even before the race season started up. So we've been going a long time, so it's about time to end our season here at Illiana Stock Car Radio. Part one, tonight we're going to look at some of our asphalt track champions. Tonight we've got newly crowned late model champion at the Grundy County Speedway, Paul Shafer Jr. with us, and also a front-wheel drive champion over at the South Bend Motor Speedway, Derek Davis, joining us here in just a minute. So, Chris, welcome back to the show, man. A couple more.
I said kind of this past weekend, bittersweet going to the tracks, knowing that it's the last time I'll be at the tracks for the foreseeable future, I guess, because with COVID, we're not really sure exactly how next year's going to play out. Fingers crossed we'll be racing in April instead of August, but here we are doing the same thing. We're about to call our ISCR season done and switch over and either do some online racing or call some online racing or both. Just put DJ Weltmeyer in charge.
Well, it's going to make my life a little bit easier. I don't really have to plan anything, line up any guests, do no show notes. I ain't got to do nothing. So I'm all about that. With that being said, let's turn to our local racing spotlight. It's what you guys came for. You came for the interviews, came to hear from the stars themselves of the local short track scene. Our local racing spotlight section tonight, presented by S4 Motorsports Marketing. You can find S4 Motorsports on Facebook and Instagram. See how they can get your small business's message out front with on and off track motorsports marketing. And everybody watching in, we encourage you, if you've got a question for either one of these guys, go ahead and pop it in the chat there, and we'll get around to it. It makes my job a lot easier because I don't have to come up with questions all the time for these guys. So let's bring them in. We're going to do both at the same time. We're going to tag team these guys.
Here we go.
Let's bring in Paul Shafer Jr. and Derek Davis to the show. Welcome in, guys.
Hey, it works.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad. So hopefully this works out well. It's going to be kind of a cluster bomb, but that's what we do here on the show, and everybody's going to have fun. We're going to talk racing for a little while, torture you guys, and then let you guys go in a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's start off here. Obviously, we got Paul Shafer Jr., 2020 Grundy County Speedway late model track champion, defeated Eddie Hoffman by 59 points. And Paul's got to be pretty good to take down a local legend like Eddie Hoffman.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty good over there. He has at least a couple championships, so to go over there and be able to beat him, it kind of means a lot.
And Derek, you're the 2020 South Bend Motor Speedway front-wheel drive track champion, and you had to beat family to get that one.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's getting more difficult. My dad is making it. We only had the second half of the season. He was running so much better than me, so I'm glad it ended when it did.
We're kind of looking at your guys' stats. Paul Jr. had 13 top 10 feature finishes and this is kind of crazy, in 13 total features, period. So you finished in the top 10 in every feature, 11 top fives, 2 feature wins. Not only did you finish in the top 10 in all the features, you completed every lap. How in the heck did you manage to do that at Grundy?
Well, I mean, I don't do that alone. Crew Chief Chris and Dave Billings and all them guys, they do everything on the car and get it pretty much ready. So for it to not have anything break or anything go wrong, I mean, we broke a rear end one of the weeks, but we had brought another one there and put it back in. So they make it happen as much as I do.
Yeah. And Derek, looking at your stats, I mean, still impressive as well. 8 feature wins, 8 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Also won the South Bend Showdown for the front wheel drive A feature. Definitely a successful season for you, but maybe not as successful when you compare it to last season, right?
Yeah. We struggled a little bit this season. We did try a lot of different things, but we really had some mechanical issues this year that set us back in a few races. But overall, I mean, it was a success. Some of the stuff we tried worked, some of it didn't. So, and we use everything we try on all the other cars too. So they gained some knowledge from it. So it all worked out.
Yeah. So if we look at the chat here, you got Drew popping in here saying you got lucky. And also that you actually cleaned the shop. So definitely tough crowd for you tonight, huh?
Yeah, they're a pain.
Well, kind of talk about that for a minute. I mean, you got a lot of family racing with you. Kind of race for the family team. What's that like? Trying to chase down a championship, and is there any distractions with having so many cars in the division and so many cars racing? Period. Does it kind of take your focus away from what you're doing?
I think a little bit, but really here with my son, it was his rookie year. We added 2 cars this year. We're adding another one next year. So you just kind of have to learn time management. You got to learn to spread everything out a little bit more. With them learning, they've really jumped in and asked a lot of questions, but they're also willing to jump in and help on any of the cars. So it's been a challenge, but at the same token, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. What's it like competing against family? I mean, racing your dad and everybody else. I mean, you got to have a little bit of more pride when you beat them, but it got to be a little bit more competitive between you guys, right?
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It's really, honestly, it's the same as racing anybody else. I mean, anybody, you can ask my older brother or anything. Don't let any of them have anything. I'll race them just as hard as anybody else, and sometimes harder. He's been second in the points the last 2 years. He just shakes his head. He's like, "Man, there's no give and take. You're putting it on week." That's right. The way they're gonna beat me. They're gonna have to earn it.
Right. So in the Davis family racing tree, what's the hierarchy here? Because I'm not as familiar with it, and it seems like there's 100 of you guys. So what's the hierarchy out there?
So my dad really got started for us. He raced Baby Grands back when Carl Edwards raced Baby Grands. He ran with Carl Edwards a little bit, and then that really got pretty expensive. So he started racing locally. We went to mini stocks, and I think I finished my 17th season racing with him. So I got into it next, and then my older brother kind of joined in. My older brother's, one's going to race full-time next year. He only has about 4 races under his belt, but we were racing at M40 in Plymouth together for a while. And this year, my son, it was his first year. He started in the Hornets before he got bumped up to front drives, and my little brother as well. So that's kind of the order we're in. My dad, though, I mean, he's in his 60s and works harder than any of us. He says he's retired, but I think his full-time job is working on everybody's race cars.
That's not a bad way to be, though.
It's not. He loves it. He loves it.
Now, Paul, this was your first full season out at Grundy, right?
Yeah, we ran over there part-time a couple of years ago, just here and there when we weren't doing anything else. So, yeah.
So, first full season, you go out, you complete all the laps, you win a track championship. We had you on a couple weeks, maybe about a month or so now. And you said you guys made the decision to run Grundy to concentrate and have more fun. Well, what's the verdict on that? Did you have a lot more fun?
Yeah. At the end of it, looking back, definitely. We definitely had more fun. Middle of the season, we were having less fun, changing stuff and trying to make it better. So, like I say, with that and the tour races, we've had a lot of fun this year.
Yeah. So, how does this championship pair with your Illiana Track Championship from 2013? Maybe how do they compare, and kind of do you put them both right up there at kind of the top on your racing resumes?
Yeah, definitely on the top of the racing resumes. The Grundy one might be a little bit higher just because we got to beat Eddie Hoffman, and he's one of the best.
Right. Let's look at the comments here. Paul, this one's for you. You're racing the National Short Track Championships at Rockford this weekend.
No, I'd like to, but last 3 times we've been there, I think we had to put a stub on the car, just got tore up, and sometimes my fault, sometimes not so much.
Right. So what is your plans for the rest of the year yet?
We're going to hit Oktoberfest up at La Crosse, and we'll run Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. And then after that, I think just the Snowball Derby. Right
on. Always a cool event to go be a part of. So a couple questions for the both of you guys. Derek, we'll start with you. Just kind of summarize your 2020 season. Obviously, 2020 has kind of been weird for everybody. I'm sure racing wise, it's no different. So start with you, Derek. Just kind of summarize your 2020.
I mean, we were in limbo for so long. We really didn't know what was going to happen. the delay in the season kind of helped us with building, new cars and whatnot. We were able to finally get them done. If we would have started on time, we wouldn't have got them done. So, but luckily we were able to get them done. And it was really kind of challenging. I mean, I started off in my primary car, which is my black and yellow car. We had started off, we had a great go of it to start the season, and then we ended up having some engine problems, and that's why I have a backup. So we ended up jumping to the purple car, no numbers or anything. We weren't ready for it. So, but have some success in that too. I think we won 2 races in each car, but I mean, really, it was trial and error all season. I think total we went through the whole team 4 or 5 motors. I mean, it was trying. It was definitely 2020 all around.
Paul, summarize your 2020, bud.
Well, it's been pretty good. We had the ups and the downs in the middle of the year, just not being sure if we were going to be able to race, and then going over to Grundy full time kept us pretty busy. But like I say, a lot of ups and downs. We won the Midwest Tour race over at Grundy, which is probably the highlight of the last couple of years, really, because last year we weren't able to win nothing, and then this year we were able to run that and actually win another tour race. And yeah, just running real good over at Grundy. It's been a lot of fun.
So somebody read the notes, because, I asked the next question is, what's your biggest highlight from 2020? So Paul, I can only assume it was winning the Midwest Tour race at Grundy.
I didn't read ahead, but I'll take credit for it. But no, like I say, it means a lot to go over there and win the Midwest Tour race. It's a huge race. And like I say, the last couple of years we went over there and we've run good, but we haven't been able to just be really good. And that car we had at the Midwest Tour race was just, it was lights out. That thing was awesome.
Right. Derek, biggest highlight in 2020?
I really had a couple different ones. Finishing second to my dad, getting his first A feature win on front wheel drive. That was pretty special. I've been lucky enough to finish second to him getting his first mini stock A feature win, my brother's first feature win, and hopefully next year my son's first front wheel drive feature win. But my son winning his first feature in his first season, I tell you what, when your kids win it, it's different. It's different than any win that you'll ever have. It's a lot more special than any win. I would trade any of them to see the excitement he had on his face. Got a little big-headed. We have to bring him down. But that was by far the biggest highlight of the season.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you got to bring him down. From my experience in the sport, the next week will do it. So,
Yeah, other guys help to bring him down a little bit, but
yeah, exactly. So for each of you, Paul, we'll go back to you. What was the biggest challenge you had in 2020?
We just fought the car getting good. We couldn't get the car good at all in the middle of the year. We changed rear ends, changed front suspension, changed the motor after that, all trying to make it better. And all the changes that Chris made, it just made it better and better and better. And now I think we actually got a really, really good piece to take to Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm. Derek, biggest challenge in 2020?
I think some of it's similar to what Paul said. Trying different things, trying to get the car better. Competition at South Bend's getting stronger and stronger. So just trying to find ways to stay ahead of the game. Really time management, balancing everything. So many cars. We had issues with every car at one point. Trying to make sure we can get everything done so we can be out on the track and each and every week racing with each other. So that was probably the toughest part.
Right. You kind of talked about it. Definitely does seem like that front wheel drive division out there is getting tougher every week.
Yeah, definitely isn't. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it that way. We welcome any guy to come in. It's all for the love of the sport. I mean, I enjoy the competition. I enjoy people having their goals to try to, beat me in qualifying and stuff. Melissa Keys can tell you about that, but like that, that's the best part of it.
Yeah, sure. Let's see, looking at the comments, see what we got going on over here. Dimmitt popped in. So, Paulie, this one's for you. It was first division you competed in. I think I know the answer, but go ahead.
I was Bandoleros out at Illiana, and then moved into Legends and then Super Late.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got. Derek Drew's wanting us to ask how your foot is feeling. He says his rear bumper's not soft. So,
yeah, that was a rough night. I ended up cracking a bone in my foot because him and I actually got into it in the pits one time. I didn't like it, drove me, so I put my foot through his front grill and forgot that he forced that. So that was. Right. We're all good now. I ended up having to fix it for him because I felt like a jackass afterwards, but it is what it is.
I also want us to ask you about your rollover.
Oh, that was years ago. We were running at Plymouth. We were running mini stocks, and guy and I got together, and I just got into the fence and rolled it and slid halfway down the front stretch. That was pretty wild. I don't recommend it to anybody.
So guys, looking at your 2020 seasons, obviously, for a lot of us, as soon as the current season's over, you're already looking ahead to the next one. So Paul, we'll start with you. Anything you can take away from 2020 and maybe apply to 2021, something you can maybe improve on or something you learned that you can take with you?
Yeah, a little bit. Just not give up attitude, because at the middle of the season, we were ready to we're done just because we weren't running well and wasn't having a good time. So, like I say, take that into 2021, and we'll start with probably going to speed weeks. So that'll be a early start.
Yep. Derek, thoughts? Anything you take from 20 and apply it to 21, maybe?
Really just, learning the car. I mean, we were the Hornet division. That's all. We've never done Hornets or anything. We're super limited on what we can do. So basically taking the momentum that we have from this year, especially with my son moving up, he's already shown really big signs of improvement moving into our class. So hopefully we could take that momentum into next year and just actually be ready on time. That'd be nice.
So I'm curious, Derek, obviously you're back-to-back champions. You won the track championship there last year's. So how does this championship compare to the one you won last year? And was this one easier, harder? Kind of what are your thoughts comparing the two?
I mean, really, they're pretty similar. This one was, I would say, it's probably a little more difficult. Like I said, there was a lot more competition, and my dad really was putting the heat on the second half of the season. So with the tougher class of cars, the just drivers improving overall, we had a lot of people move up. So it's very similar. I mean, some are more special than others. This one I would say is probably about just the same as last year. It's still special. They're all special. They're not easy to get.
Sure. Paul, with the late model division, seemed pretty competitive out there at Grundy County Speedway this season. Kind of talk about the competition level out there and maybe what you saw from behind the wheel.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody was really close this year, in time-wise and in qualifying and all that. So when a guy started on the front row, it made it tough to actually get up to him and get him. And then, Eddie's always good, and even Nathan Kelly was a lot better this year. He was getting quite a bit faster. So like I say, it's getting tougher and tougher out there, and with that tire they're on, they're almost all the same.
Yeah, I can definitely notice it seemed like a crapshoot. Any week, whoever maybe would get fast time or whoever to get to the front first pretty much would be the guy to win.
Yeah, pretty much. It was real hard to track him down and get to him, and everybody more or less did a pretty good job keeping no yellows too. So there's a lot of experience, and people are getting better there too.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, because you're out in the middle of the infield, but gives you less pictures to shoot, though.
I'm okay with that too.
But less pictures to shoot means less pictures to sell, right?
Well, also means I less have to edit.
Well, okay, there you go. I guess it really just depends on what side of the spectrum you want to be on.
Exactly.
So let's see what else we got going. Derek, any more racing left on the schedule for you guys this year?
Nope. We're pretty much done. We've already started tearing cars apart and started stripping down parts cars. So we've got one that's completely bare, ready to go. We got to take that one to the frame shop. And all the other ones are in the process already. So we've already started the off season.
Awesome. Well, last thing I have for you guys, the question wise is both of you guys, it's a family affair, as I think a lot of local racing is for a lot of people. Paul, you with your dad, Derek, with you, your dad, your dad, your brothers, everybody. What's it like just to be able to share, the racing experience, the championships, the success, but even maybe on the not so good days, just share it with your family. Derek, we'll start with you.
Really, I mean, it's everything. I mean, being able to do this with my family, I don't know if I would still be doing it, honestly. I mean, winning championships and stuff like that, it's most rewarding is being able to look up after you win a race, doing Polish victory, see them going just crazy up in the stands. That's what it's all about. Having the little fans come up in victory lane, wanting to get a picture, get trophies, stuff like that. Just being a family affair, and a lot of it as well as your racing family. It's just when you're at the track, it's just one big family, and we've gotten so close with everybody there. It's beyond blood for us. I mean, that's what it's all about, the friendships and everything else.
Paul, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, my old man's always at the track. This year, he came to Grundy almost every week, which kind of unlike him. It's just being so busy. But like I say, he was there. And then, like I say, my crew chief, Chris and Dave and Mike and Kim, they're like family too. You know what I mean? So just everybody being there every week. It was a good time.
All right, let's see. Go back to the comments here, see if we got anything else. And Derek, Drew is blowing us up here. He wants to ask you why the competition's so close at South Bend. So,
I think South Bend, they're pretty unique. A lot of the surrounding tracks like that run a Hoosier tire and whatnot. And I think with South Bend, what makes them so unique is the radial tire that we run. I mean, it really levels the playing field out. A lot of guys, keeps you from spending big money on motors and stuff like that. So with the radial tire, it just levels the playing field. And it's always, I know why he brings that up, because it's always a debate whether we should go to Hoosiers and whatnot. And right. I think a lot of the end of season shows showed that Hoosiers for South Bend really aren't the way to go. I mean, every week, we were within 4/10 to make the A from, first to 14th or less. I mean, really, it was a tight field this season. And a lot of that had to do with, running on a radial tire.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes to what we talk about at Grundy, Paul, with, the tire kind of leading to, the competition level.
Yeah. I mean, the tire balances everybody out. And, everybody has a different opinion on which way to go. So you're not going to convince anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. If racers didn't have opinions, we wouldn't have a show. So,
Yeah. Seems like South Bend's the same way.
Oh, absolutely. For their own worst enemy, man. Just want to spend. But I mean, really, we had.
And then they complain about how much it costs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I drive a Saturn. I mean, in this area, so really, it's just levels of playing field. I don't have to spend $4,000 or $5,000 on a motor to go out and win races. Done it on 160,000 mile motors. And that's fun that way,
Right.
I'll spend the money when I move up.
Let's see. One more from the comments. Let's see. Looks like we got Scott Humansky asking Paul your opinion of racing around the '88 car of Billy Hulbert. Looks like he was the rookie of the year. I'm assuming. I don't know if Chris, if you can verify that or not.
Work.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make you do something other than sitting there looking pretty. Paul, your thoughts?
You had me.
Yeah. So, Paul, your thoughts racing around some of the newer competition out there, like the '88 car of Billy Hulbert.
Yeah, a lot of the new guys out there actually ran really clean. They always gave you a lane to race, didn't run you into the dirt. I know Hulbert was one of them, and Clay Kurtz. And there's one other person. I can't remember who it was. Oh, Gergate. Gergate's always there and runs real clean too. So, like I say, racing with them guys is great.
All right. So, obviously, it takes a village, as they say, to win a championship and have any success in this sport. So, Paul, we'll start with you. As we do every time someone's on the show, we like to give you opportunity to thank your sponsors and thank your crew. So, Paul, have at it.
Yeah, definitely. My old man, he pays for everything. So, without him, I couldn't do what I do. Him, my crew chief, Chris, Dave Billings, Mike and Kim Larson, Paul's Auto Yard, just, they make everything go around.
Derek?
Really, like he said, without your family, you can't really do it. So, I got to thank my dad, my brothers. They're always wrenching on it. My son has helped me a ton this year with him coming up. My sponsors, Media Blast Solution, he's been huge. Really getting the purple car when we did a motor swap after we broke the second motor. He was a huge help getting that done. Precision Transmission, Kryptonite Photography, K&R Electric, Matty D's Home Improvement, American Gutter Services, DavisFamilyRacing.com. They just everyone. Without our sponsors, just can't do that. So, and they've all become family as well.
Awesome. Well, guys, first foremost, congratulations on your championships. Awesome seasons for the both of you, and we appreciate you guys taking a little time out and come and talk and race with us tonight.
Yeah, appreciate you having us.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. We will catch you guys to track probably next year.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
See ya.
See ya. All right. So it's Paul Shafer Jr. and Derek Davis, track champions, Grundy County Speedway and South Bend Motor Speedway, respectively. Good interview.
Yeah.
A lot of good insight and, just really good season. Weird season, obviously, 2020. Kind of been weird for everybody. But good racing, good season for those guys. And kind of when I was starting to look up some of the stats, especially when I started looking up the stats for Paul, and was like, man, 13 features, 13 top 10s. And it's always good when I can start looking up the stats and then I read Tony or Stan's articles and they back up what I'm reading, what I'm writing down stat wise. I'm like, all right, I'm going to the right places here. But yeah, to see that Paulie Jr. completed every lap of all the features at Grundy, no less.
I hadn't even thought about that, and that is quite the feat.
That's how you win a championship. That's just that consistency. Then, Derek he's just bad fast. So, so you got that as well. So that all being said, let's go here into our weekly winner's circle segment. A little bit different look to that segment here this evening.
Not a weekly winners.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, not quite. There was one race over the weekend, one last points race at the Grundy County Speedway. So pull that up here. Paul Shafer Jr. took the late model feature and won himself the championship there. Out at the Grundy County Speedway this past Saturday. Blake Brown did everything he could to try to win the track championship there from Kevin Murphy, only to lose by 1 point, but took the feature win there in the Mid-Am division. Eddie Legui cleaned up as he's done pretty much all season in the street stock division, and then Scott Ingram.
Car, no less.
Yeah, exactly. And Scott Ingram took the pure stock feature out there. So that all being said, let's take a look at our 2020 Grundy County Speedway track champions. We just heard from him, Paul Shafer Jr. in the late model division. Kevin Murphy, as we said, by 1 point in the Mid-Am division, goes back-to-back in that division. Also going back-to-back for the street stocks is Eddie Legui, and then Jeremiah Senko in the pure stocks takes the track championship there. South Bend Motor Speedway, Steve Stacy takes the Outlaw Late Model Track Championship. Austin Maynard, Sportsman Late Model Track Champion. Logan Maynard, family affair right there, keeping in the Street Stock Championship.
There's not as many Maynards as there are Davises.
It's got to be pretty close. I mean, seriously. Definitely family affair out at the South Bend Motor Speedway. Derek Davis, we talked to him. Front wheel drive champion out at South Bend Motor Speedway. Mike Sanders took the Hornet Championship. Evan Verduen, is that how?
Evan
Verdine takes the senior mini wedge class, and Evan Fox takes the junior mini wedge track championship.
Yeah, former guest on this show. He was when we had Doug Fox on talking about the mini wedges. Evan was the special super secret guest. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's the youngest guest we've ever had on the show. Too,
I think so. Until we can get Justin Banta on, I think Evan's got it.
So with all that, Grundy County Speedway for the Fan Appreciation Night, we did have some other awards that were handed out. The Most Popular Driver Awards. Blake Brown, the late model. I do not know how Paul Shafer Jr. did not win that one. I feel like he's probably the most popular guy out there, but nonetheless.
Either way, it's got to be close.
It's got to be. It has to be.
And both of those guys are just, you can't not like either one of them.
Yeah, we've had both of them on the show this year. Both good guys. Interviews were great with both of them. So congratulations to him. Matt Clemens took the Mid-Am Most Popular Driver Award. Alex Gay, Street Stocks, and Zach Lerner in the Pure Stocks. Also,
Zach Legner.
Legner.
You got to work on your pronunciation tonight.
I might have mistyped that, so that's probably.
Type that.
I'm going to look at the message that you sent me because I.
Okay.
No, see, you typed it learner.
Well, then my phone
So
typed it.
Yes. So I'm gonna.
Like
So I'm gonna blame you on that.
I'm gonna blame AT&T.
I would. The best looking car for late model division. Eddie Hoffman. He had a good looking car. Don't get me wrong. How we didn't win that one, I don't know. Because to me, the S4.
I already heard it from Abby.
Yeah, to me, the S4 car was the best looking car out there.
Well, and this isn't a criticism of you or your team or anything, but Eddie was out there a few more times.
Well, that you know, budgets, man.
I'd say you got to get your car visible, but Stan does a great job of that. Just not at Grundy County Speedway.
Well, we just need to politic, I guess, next year for more votes.
There you
go. Which I mean, Stan would be like the perfect politician. I mean, yeah, you know, that's kind of his deal. So Stan, you got to work on that. Best looking car next year. We got to get that.
There you go.
So Eddie Hoffman takes that for the late models out at the Grundy County Speedway. Matt Clemens, he won both the Mid-Am and the Pure Stock best looking car.
That he did.
So he doubling up over there. And Michael Tobuck Jr., Street Stocks. So
that is a pretty car, though.
Yeah, so congratulations to them out there.
There's Bobby.
Yes.
He's looking pretty.
Well, you know, better late than never, I suppose, right?
Something like that.
So that was our weekly Winner Circle segment brought to you by Damn It Race Videos. They provide quality racing videos from the Grundy County Speedway and the South Bend Motor Speedway. You can watch all their videos on their YouTube page, Damn It Race Videos. Also catch them on Facebook for updates and posts, information about all their video postings and schedules and where they're going to be. So I think Dimmitt for all he's done this year, posting the videos, and they've been points of reference for myself for a good chunk of the year. So he does an awesome job with the videos. Make sure you check him out. Like, subscribe to his pages. If you can't make it to the racetrack every week like I do, it's just get out there and watch the videos. It definitely good quality videos, and they're definitely worth it. So that being said, a couple of final thoughts for this evening. First thing we want to touch on here in this segment is, of course, Gary Raven, a local racing figure, unfortunately passed away this past Sunday on the 27th. He's two-time late model champion at the Raceway Park in 96 and 1998. Began his racing foray in 1978, competed Raceway Park, Grundy, Illiana, I think some at Santa Fe as well. Last year competing was 2011. He was a friend and mentor to many in the local racing community. And while I did not know him personally, obviously I didn't know his name from being around. So definitely want to send our condolences to the Raven family as well. Chris, anything to add to that?
No, I think Stan wrote up an article earlier this week, kind of touching. I'm sure you referenced that quite a bit there. That's pretty much what there is to say about it. You know.
Yeah,
and did a great job though. Gary was definitely a character. I'm gonna miss talking to him. You know, he would always stop down by the photo booth, usually while I was down there getting it set up. So I know Gary touched a lot of people in the racing community. He's definitely going to be missed.
Yep, absolutely. Saw a lot of posts on Facebook and whatnot about it. And, definitely never want to lose a member of our racing family. So like I said, our condolences go out to him and his family and the racing family as well. And the next topic here is going to be a little bit of a sore one. Speaking of losing members of the racing family, this one just got added a little bit ago. Chicagoland Speedway was announced or confirmed by NASCAR this afternoon that NASCAR will not be coming back to the Chicagoland Speedway in 2021. It, along with the Kentucky Speedway, will be off of the National Series schedule next season. The full schedule is supposed to be released sometime tomorrow for the NASCAR Series. So that's going to leave the future of the track kind of uncertain. We don't really know what it's going to be, if it's going to be bulldozed and be warehouses, if it's going to be reconfigured, or maybe if there's going to be some kind of date rotation with some other speedways that are on the circuit. Maybe after tomorrow's announcements, we'll know a little bit more. But I know initial reaction, anger. Don't really understand the decision. And
NASCAR again.
Yeah. So just anger. But at least want to give the benefit of the doubt to NASCAR and everything that they got going on. Bobby, NASCAR keeps putting nails in the coffin. I I would agree with that. I think they're kind of going the political route. And what I say is they're acting like politicians. They say one thing and do another. NASCAR said that they value the Chicago market, and this is a hot market for them, and they want to be here. Yet they've done everything to shoot themselves in the foot to be in this market.
Right.
So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be in this market and not be in the market at the same time. So I understand. I'm not really sure what track, I guess, is going to be getting our date, so to speak. But to pull from this area and not give us anything, I think is kind of stupid. And that's nice compared to some of the things I've said in the last hour and a half to 2 hours. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we'll learn more. Maybe there's a plan. Maybe there's not. I don't know. So we'll kind of have to keep our eyes and ears peeled to see what they say. But it's not going to make NASCAR popular with the Chicagoland racing crowd. I mean, it's even less popular maybe than it was, because I know there's a lot of ill will, I think, towards NASCAR for maybe some of the history with the ARTGO series and kind of some of those things. Chris, you can probably attest to that maybe a little bit more than I can regarding the ARTGO series. But I think there's a lot of bad taste in the mouth from a lot of Chicago NASCAR racing fans, I guess, just stock car racing fans in general, maybe, how that all went down. And I don't think this is going to sit well either.
Oh, absolutely not. Realistically, I guess, coming out of this, depending on what they say, and it doesn't even really matter what they say tomorrow. Go to your local short track. That's where the racing's happening. Those they're not really building more of those. So make sure the ones we got, we keep supporting and keep around for as long as we can.
Yeah, I guess that's just a reinforcement. I guess if you want to see some stock car racing, you're going to have to go to local racetracks. Go to South Bend Motor Speedway. Go to Plymouth, Shady Hill, Rockford, Grundy, Kankakee. Go to your local tracks. That's the way you're going to get stock car racing around here. And then, hey, we'll be here to bring it to you, cover it all, and give you a little bit of opinion, a little bit of news, a little bit of everything. Whether you want it or not, we'll be here. That all being said, some of our sponsors we want to thank. Do you want to do the Good Acre Photography segment, or you want me to do it?
I suppose I can do the Good Acre Photography segment.
All right, I'll let you have at it.
I do kind of know that guy.
You should know that guy.
So yeah, Good Acre Photography. We're kind of wrapping our season up here. Just actually right before we went on the air, finished editing season championship at Grundy. So those will be uploading tonight. We'll have a post on our Facebook page here probably tomorrow morning when I verify that everything's live. Had a bit of a hiccup last week with the Shady Hill Mystery 100 pictures disappearing. Clearly it's a mystery. So yeah, that'll be up soon, and then we'll get the final night for the mini wedges at South Bend up a little bit later this week, and then for right now we don't have anything else scheduled until the banquet. So just kind of playing it by ear. Maybe going to try to get out to some of the end of season shows, depending on what the whole group schedule looks like. I know right now we're all kind of decompressing, and Stan, your pictures are right here. I have them. We just need to get together and give them to you at some point. I have Abby's shirt too. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, go to goodacrephotography.com/Grundy/Shady Hill/South Bend to view a whole season's worth. We've got probably about 15,000 pictures for each track. So if you're looking for racing pictures, I got plenty. Now Stan wants delivery. How about DiGiorno?
Oh, yeah, he's gonna say you know where S4 World headquarters is. So.
Yeah, I do. I just need time to get over there when I'm not sitting in front of the computer editing pictures, which thankfully this week wasn't as bad as last week.
Let's see what else we got.
Apparently my October 24th night has been penciled in. Bobby Allwine's gonna need probably documentation and recording of God only knows what he's gonna do.
I'm going to leave that one to you, man, because that's definitely right up your alley. You definitely want to document that. That's for sure. 15K. Stan put a $15,000 order in with you. What do you?
15,000 picture order in. I was trimming pictures for about a week and a half.
I see him. I said $15,000. Your name must be Jeff Cannon or something. I think he only spends that amount of money with FRS, man.
Well, man, he should start spending that much money with GP.
Oh man,
if I need to do any CPR.
Yeah. Ugh, we won't touch that one.
Picture of somebody doing it.
Yeah, there you go. Also want to thank International Women's Motorsports Association, IWMANation.com. I also find them on Facebook and Instagram as well. Left Turn Graphics, thank them. And then Boss Man, the Driving DJ Network. He's been blowing our messages up.
Yeah.
So keep a lookout for Winter Sim Racing, the Driving DJ Network. I know in talks to get...
We'll be there.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be a couple of the voices of the Driving DJ Network and some of their broadcasts coming up this winter, including potentially a Grundy County Speedway winter series.
I believe the plans for that are already in motion. So Dan Janjanin, if you're still watching there, we just about got stuff ironed out. So toss DJ or Steve a message if you have any input there.
Yep, exactly. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to part 1 of our 2-part season finale. Like I said, part 2 will be next week. Championship episodes here. Wrapping the season at the local tracks, wrapping the season here. We thank everybody for tuning in. On behalf of Chris Goodacre and myself, we hope you guys have enjoyed the show and hope to see you back here next week.